Earl, sack that fool. Hit him, 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 hit him. Smash him up, watch that move. Went too swift, can't catch these dudes. Hit him, 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 hit him. Listen, 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 listen. This Eagles talk, this talk Eagles. Philly bleed green is from your people. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's peep the squad. Big Pat, Shell, and Dante the dark job. Drop the stats on them, drop the facts on them. Spur game, baby, let's get it on.
Hey, fam, it's your man Dante the Dark Knight, and welcome to Game Day edition of Eagles Talk. Our Philadelphia Eagles are taking on our Pennsylvania rivals, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a great game, a big game. This is one of the few playoff Super Bowl contenders that we face. A formidable foe this week is the Pittsburgh Steelers. We have another tough game after this, the Commanders. But first, we have to take care of business against the Steelers today. And there's been a lot of controversy this week. If you have been following the Eagles and not living under a rock, you heard all the talk between AJ and how the media has, well, I'm not going to say spun the narrative, but a lot of people, the majority of people thought that his comments were coming directly at Jalen Hurts. Hopefully they have squashed that controversy in their appearance in the media this week, with AJ saying that everything's cool, we cool, me and Jalen, no beef there, and Jalen saying the same thing, that they're cool, there's no beef there. So hopefully this will be the end of that controversy. We can get down to the business of continuing to vie for that number one seed in the NFC, because we really need that. We need that bad. I think we need that. Other people, my sons included, other people think that they're not afraid to go to Detroit and have to win a game in Detroit. I'm just saying I like our team. I like our chances. I think that we are legitimate Super Bowl contenders, but I just want the best or the easiest path to the Super Bowl as possible, and that would include a first round bye, with only having to win 2 games to reach the big game. So I would take that over having to go to Detroit. Not that I doubt that we can win in Detroit, but what's better than playing at the Link with the team that we have and the crowd and the fans that we have? Who wouldn't want that NFC Championship game to be in Philadelphia? So I am one of those who are still holding out hope, who wants our team to win out, if that's going to better our chances to be able to play at home throughout the playoffs. I'm down for that. So I am counting this as a huge game, because I think that we could really use that game at home in the NFC Championship game and that first week of the playoffs off. But without further ado, I'm kind of flying solo right now, but I think I'm gonna have a guest. I mean, not a guest. I'm sorry, my co-host. Pat's not going to make it. He's already said that. But Nichelle should be with me shortly. So let me just address you guys, my second co-host so far on the program today, and that's you guys that's in the chat room. I thank you guys all the time. You can spend your pregame anywhere, on NFL Network, on ESPN, on Fox, on CBS, but you choose to spend it here with us on Eagles Talk. So we thank you for that. And the first person that's in the chat room today is Tony Burren, our resident from Australia, from down under. He says, "Yo, Bird fam, what's up, Tony? You guys ready for this game?" And Dion is second. He says, "Yo, go Birds." Dion is watching on YouTube. Tony is on Facebook. We thank you guys. And if you are watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe and like button so you can get notified every time that we go live. The third person in the room is The X Factor. He said, "Let's get this W. Go Birds." That's right. Let's get this W. Brother Wood is in the house. He says it will be a good day if they play well. No doubt about it. Jack is in the house. I have to say Jack, because Jackie gets me all discombobulated, booblated. I keep thinking it's a woman, but it's not. It's Jack. And Jack says the wait is over. Eagles Talk is on live. Augusta, Georgia is in the house. Win, Birds, win. Yes, that's what we're going to try to do. We want to try to go 1-0. That's all. We don't have to reinvent the wheel here. We just want to go 1-0 each week, and it starts today with going 1-0. Let me just I'm trying to get this share up here. I don't know what's going on with Facebook. They're kind of weirding out right here. But so I talked about I did an impromptu live on IG on Friday because we didn't have our upon further review regular broadcast on Thursday. So I did an impromptu showing up on Instagram. Just me, just talking. No fancy green screen background or anything like that. Just me. And if you guys are not used to the program and you tuned in and you saw me and you didn't see the aviator glasses or any Eagles paraphernalia, yes, it was me. Yeah, that was me without my uniform on. I had my regular glasses on. I didn't have a hat on. So if anybody tuned in, like, is it that Dark Knight? Yeah, I know. Sometimes Dark Knight, you have to. If I don't have the Versace aviator glasses on and the Eagles Kelly green on, you might not recognize me. But it was me. And what I talked about then was a little bit about the controversy that has been going on all week, and that was AJ's comment about the passing attack being the aspect of the Eagles game that needs the most improvement, and that being taken as an attack on Jalen Hurts has been the big talk for the week. And as I said on Friday, I don't think it was meant to be an attack on Jalen. I really don't. I think that AJ was just voicing the truth. Actually, that is the aspect of the Eagles game that needs the most improvement as we move forward and head towards the playoffs. Is the passing attack? The passing attack has not been sharp. It has not been explosive. And I think a lot of people are making a big deal because of that fact. Because when we came into the season armed with a new running back, a new offensive coordinator, we just expected to see our passing attack to be explosive and better than what it has been thus far. I don't think that any of us anticipated that the running game would be this dominant that it would make the passing attack a secondary feature of our offense. And that's what it has become. And I don't think there's anything to be alarmed about with AJ's comments. I don't think there's anything to be alarmed with about with the passing attack either. I know it's not. It seems pedestrian when we compare it to what we want it to look like. But I am one that doesn't think that we cannot win with our offense the way it looks now. I'm one of those now because I believe that if asked if asked to perform at a higher level, that our passing attack can answer the call. If asked to be the focal point of the game, I think our passing attack can rise to the level that they need to win the game. I'm not really alarmed or worried. I don't care how W's look. I just want W's at the end of the game. And our passing attack doesn't look like an explosive attack because we have not had to rely on it. We use it when we need it. It's been effective when we needed it. And is it explosive every time? No, it's not. But those aerial attacks or those offenses don't necessarily come home with the championship every year. Those teams that find a way to win come home with the championship every year. You know what I'm saying? They are the ones who come home with the championship every year. Dion says, yo, I love for the passing game to kick in and help us save Barkley a bit. Barkley's body has been known to wear down. I Yeah, maybe so, but I don't think that this, if you look at Barkley's uses this year, if you look at the way he's played, it doesn't look like he is being overtaxed. I mean, the gaping holes he's running through, I think he's averaging almost 4 yards I mean, almost 5 yards a carry before the first contact is made. So that proves to you that he's running through some gaping holes, and I don't think that he is experiencing the same wear and tear as he did in previous years with the New York Giants. He's running behind a much better offensive line, and hence why he's broken the franchise season single season rushing record in only 13 games. He's had some explosive runs, 70-yard runs, 60-yard runs where he's just not being touched and he's running through some gaping holes. So I don't think that his wear and tear or his usage or wear and tear this year has been extreme. Let's put it that way. Still has fresh legs, and these 4 games left. I mean, with 4 games left, and I think that this is just the way it is going to be up until the season is over. I don't think that he has been carrying too much of the load either. We still have Gainwell. Gainwell gets an adequate amount of carries, sometimes too many because you just want to see Barkley do his thing all the time. But I get it. We can't run him into the ground, so that's why Gainwell gets his touches, and albeit the rushing, the ground game is just that dynamic. It does get the majority of the calls. Well, actually, I don't know. I'm saying that because it looks like that. All right, okay. So Dion is saying, start the first quarter, please. Don't let me stop you from drinking. But you guys that's tuning in for the first time, this may be what you're here for too. So here we go. Without further delay, you are watching Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around. That's by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team. That is the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. So I don't have that mocktails crap. I'm not doing that today. So I'm just going to drink my favorite order today. But you guys, let me know what you're drinking out here. I'm just going to do a shot of my favorite water, and that's what I'm going to do. Last week I was doing a mocktail. A friend of mine, bought me a mocktail bottle of bourbon, and I was doing that. But I'm going to forego that now and just do my shot of water. So here we go. To our Philadelphia Eagles and their showdown against our Pennsylvania rivals today. Let's take one down for the culture. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the first quarter.
All right, so the first quarter. Again, a lot of talk about AJ, the passing game. So I don't know why, but I just have this feeling that it is going to be a passing attack. We're going to see a lot of passing attack this week because of what was said this past week, right? I don't want there to be an unnecessary unnecessary like I don't want them to force it. Let's just put it that way. I don't want them to force the passing attack just because of the controversy this week, right? Now that's my thought, but I hope that Sirianni is a mature leader of men and doesn't succumb to the pressure of what was in the media this week about everyone talking about the passing attack not looking good and AJ talking about the passing attack. I hope he does not relinquish to play into that narrative that the passing attack needs to be corrected and the such. Please just do what we do best and take the easiest path to victory. And that is, in my opinion, continuing to use our run game the way that we have. We get to the passing game when we get to it. When the passing plays are called, let's be more crisp in our execution. Let's take advantage. Let's be more efficient, and let's put up some points. But I don't want us to force a round peg into a square hole. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And I don't think winning 9 consecutive games indicates that there's anything broken. I really don't. I think when you go through every team has aspects of their game where they're stronger than others, and the passing game is obviously not our strong point right now, right? But I don't think that it is broken. I think you had a week where you had 21 passes, and that still wasn't bad. I mean, 21 passes, he completed 14 of them. That's still a pretty efficient rate. Did he miss a couple people? Yeah, maybe he did. He missed a couple people. But who doesn't? You know what I mean? Who does not? Who does not miss a couple of people? The important thing, are they talking, and I don't know because I'm not one of their fans, but are they in Kansas City talking about Mahomes this year? When they went 11-0, And he was not, believe me, his numbers don't look like the Mahomes of the past. These are not, these are not Mahomes-like numbers this year. And I don't think anybody in Kansas City is complaining that they lost one game this year. The main thing is the main thing. And the main thing to me, I always thought was to win, right? And I say that even with the PTSD on my mind of last year, because that sounds like the things that we were saying when they were 10-1 last year. But that was a different looking 10-1. This 11-2 does not look like last year's 10-1, where we're barely winning and we have some serious questions. This team still looks like a well-oiled machine, albeit one aspect of our game is not operating at its highest level. But that's okay. I don't think that that's something that is broken. I think we just had an off week. We've seen weeks where the passing game has been adequate, where AJ has put up numbers, where Devontae has had numbers. It just wasn't last week. What can you say? It just was not last week. So if called upon today, I think the passing attack will try to work or be crisper than it's been, of course. But I don't want it forced. I just don't want it forced. That's not our identity, right? We're in week 15 now. Our identity is not a 30, 40 pass attempt offense. That's not our identity. Let's remember who we are. Let's remember what got us to 11-2. And everybody just chill out. I would like to know you guys' opinion, though, on what you've heard all week in Eagles Nation. Let me know what you guys think about the AJ situation and the passing attack. Well, you know what? I could probably speak for you. I know everyone out there is probably feeling the same way that everybody feels. You know what I mean? Everybody feels that the passing attack is not what we expected going into the year. I expected a return. Well, I was about to say I expected a return to the high-flying aerial attack that we had in 2022. But I didn't. I didn't expect that because we had a different offensive coordinator. What I did expect, realistic expectations were, I expected a better offense than what we saw last year. I didn't have the bar too high. I just wanted our offense to be a lot better than what it was last year. And I think that it is. Actually, it's just not looking the way that we might have imagined it, right? We all wanted to see improvement over the offense last year because it looked horrible. It looked like they weren't on the same page. It looked like our plays were bland. I even called it, it was unseasoned soul food last year. We had unseasoned soul food last year on offense. And this year I wanted to see a little bit more creativity, a little bit more some spices up in there. Put some Cajun spices or some Lowry seasoning salt. Put something in there. Give me some smoked turkey butts or something in there to just spice it up a little bit. And I think I've seen that this year. I have. But it's not reminiscent of 22 because we have Saquon Barkley now. We have Saquon Barkley. And I think in finding their identity this year, they've come to realize, and we've been saying it in years previous too. Even in the year we went to the Super Bowl, last year included the year we had Sanders at times. Haven't we always cried for run the ball? Well, now they are. They're running the ball, and they're doing it effectively. They're doing it effectively, so much so that it is the bread and butter of our team right now, of our offense. That's our identity, is we run the ball, and we run it very well. So, let's be happy with that. The offense, the passing attack has been supportive, and I don't think that we need like who can we compare it to? I guess the Lions are the best team. Does it have to be that explosive? No, it could be. If we could just score points in the first quarter, imagine that. If we just scored points in the first quarter, just one touchdown in the first quarter, we're talking about being closer to 30 points a game. And you know, we're scoring at a good clip when you look at our offense, right? And this is without that explosive passing attack. But we're talking about a score in the first quarter away from probably looking at the type of scores that we all want to see coming from this team. If we're scoring 24 points, 22 points, we're looking at a touchdown away from being near 30 points a game. So I think our biggest problem is solving our early game woes, the first quarter woes where we get off to a slow start. I think that is more important or should be more urgent than worrying about the passing attack being or looking like it did in 2022. We're not asking Jalen to carry the team like we did in 2022 because that's what we were doing. We asked Jalen had the team on his shoulders, and he carried a heavy load of the offense in 2022. Well, now Saquon Barkley is carrying that, and he's doing an admirable job at it. Like I just mentioned, the single season rushing leader of this franchise in just 13 games. He's also the holder of the single season game rushing record. Also, you know, that 255-yard game gave him that. So he's doing his job, right? He's doing his job. So let me go to some comments out here. Let me see what you say. Jack is saying them Georgia Bulldogs are going to make life difficult for the Steelers QB today. I think so, too. I definitely think so. Dion said it's a conspiracy. The media wants us to get off the run so we stop racking up W's. I'm with that, too. You know, and when you talk about the media, right, you have to understand what their job is. They're doing their job. Their job is to find talking points, to find stories. And that was a layup. That was an alley-oop that AJ gave him with that soundbite. That's their job. They're supposed to look for stories. They're supposed to look for talking points, especially on sports talk radio. It's sports talk. If you don't have anything to talk about, it's kind of a boring thing, right? So when you give them something to talk about, they're going to take it and run with it. And that's what happened. I'm not shaking. But I do understand that, you know, if the team listens to this, if the team listens to the narrative, that it can affect a non-physical situation can affect how people play on the field. So I get it. I don't want them to take this situation, this controversy, and let it affect their play on the field. Don't do that. So don't take a knee-jerk reaction to this, Nick, please. Don't take a knee-jerk reaction and start playing Madden football again. It's not a video game. You know, this is, you know, don't go for the bait. You know what I mean? The easy thing is say, oh, yeah, we don't have a passing attack. All right, we'll show them. We'll show them. No. If, you know what I mean? If the game plan is they have a weak run defense or a run defense that can be exploited, please just take advantage of the matchups. Don't get out of what we do. Biggest difference this year is the defense. Yes, the biggest difference is the defense. We have a defense now that will keep us in any game against any offense, and that's just truly the way I feel, and that's what gives me the most confidence week to week. Is I'm not even, and I know that, and this sounds funny, but you know our defense is performing at a high level, the number one defense in the league, right? And what seems ironic about it is our defense is the best performing unit, but our offense is the most talented unit. When you look on the offensive side of the ball, it's the most talented unit, but the defense is the best performing unit that we have right now. And that's not a bad thing to have, not a bad dilemma to be in. All right, Richie says, okay, people, Saquon isn't that good of a player. It's all the O-line's fault. All right. And you might be right. I mean, no. I take that back. You are not right. Because we've had some adequate running backs. And I talked about it. We've had some pretty good running backs here. Saquon is on another level. With those pretty good running backs, we have been leaders in rushing yards in past years. With those pretty good runnings, with LeGarrette Blount, we won a Super Bowl. And we had one of I think, the top rushing attack that year, right? He's not a bad back. Jay Ajayi was not a bad running back. Pretty good running back. Running behind this offensive line, number one rushing attack. We had Miles Sanders. We went to the Super Bowl. Had a pretty good year that year. He's pretty good running back. I think we were a top 3 rushing attack that year. But you put a running back with the quality of Saquon Barkley behind this line, and you see there is a big difference. A huge difference. So I'm not going to say that he's not a good running back. He is an excellent running back. And you match him up with an excellent offensive line, and you're getting what perhaps may be an historic year by a running back. He's still on pace to possibly break Eric Dickerson's all-time single season rushing record. So I'm not going to discount him at all. JT says, you did it live. You know how I feel. Yeah, you was there. JT, you was there. You was somebody else. I forget what everybody has different handles on different platforms. I forget what your handle was, but you were there. You saw it. All right, Jack. Oh, John T. Petit says, with all due respect to AJ, fuck your feelings, bro. We are mauling teams. We return to being the bullies on the block. We're the ones taking other teams' lunch money. They know we're going to run the ball and still can't stop us. You want to win or you want your numbers inflated? Right. That's what I'm talking about. All right. We got the Queen of Eagles Talk has joined us. What's up, Queen?
What's up? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right, because after unplugging the block, I had it all messed up. I'm sorry.
All right, we're just talking about the offense, and I was talking about the fact that I hope that they don't
Compensate for the media.
overcompensate for what they were talking about this week.
What up,
pass
John?
attack. That's my only fear. Don't try to overcompensate and force the passing game just because of this talk, man.
Yeah, my whole thing with the entire issue was people that in the media and fans that lack emotional intelligence. If I say one word passing and you run with it and you take it to 1,000 to, oh, he means Hurts, he means this. I took it as the whole entire regime, and I took it as mostly a Kellen Moore scheme thing. But nobody wants to talk about the number one person that's responsible for our passing game. It's Kellen Moore. And that's what I took it as, is that they all need to get on the same page, whether it's Jalen, the receivers, the tight ends, the running backs. But number one, more importantly, is the OC. If he is not scheming into balance, that doesn't fall on Jalen. Don't give me that. Well, he missed this pass. You don't even know how the plays are supposed to develop. Sometimes Kellen Moore's scheme develops too slow. He might need faster developing plays. He might need a better route tree. These are the conversations I'm having with people that actually talk about football and not talk about their emotions. It was blown out of proportion, and I hope the team stays tight with each other, understanding what their mission is, and that's to win and win all the way until we can get to the chip. Not how we feel about what it looks like how they win. That's not how the NFL works. I don't even know. I think it might be this age of social media that everybody has so much of an opinion on how they want to see something happen that they keep forgetting the main thing. As my man Jalen Hurts always says, the main thing is what? To get the W. I don't care how it looks. You don't have a crystal ball to tell me, oh, if you won this way, you're not going to win like this in the playoffs. Really? Really? Because last thing I'll check, nobody remembers how you won in the playoffs. All they do is remember that you won.
And this is, let me first of all, but that is exactly what I have been saying. And to further expound on Kellen's more responsibility, this is the way I see it, right? And I'm speculating. I'm not in the room or whatever. But I think that this is an adjustment for everyone. This offense, they're still adjusting to each other. Why? Why do I say that? Why do you say that, Dark Knight? Because I went back, I looked at Kellen Moore and his play calling with the Dallas Cowboys, which the Dallas Cowboys were at like the #1 offense during the times that he was calling plays. He was not an RPO the guy, right? That wasn't a part of his offense. He didn't do that with the Chargers either. So we're seeing RPOs, right? Why are we seeing that from Kellen Moore? Because he's on a new team now and he has to adjust his system to his players. Jalen is a person who performs very well under RPO. So now we have an offensive coordinator that has to incorporate a part of the offense that he really didn't run, right? And I commend him for doing that because he could come in and say, look, let me fit this square peg into this round hole. Jalen, you just do what I run. But no, this is the compromise, or I think this is what Sirianni was describing when he said, we're in the training camp, we're getting everything together, we're trying to, mesh things together. And that is what's happening. I think that they are still learning each other. Kellen Moore is learning more about what Jalen likes to do. Jalen is running more under center, what Kellen likes to do. And they're still kind of getting it together, right? But in the interim, we're 9-game winning streak. So it's working. You know what I'm saying? It's working. It's just not as sharp as it can be because they're still adjusting to each other. So it's not Jalen's fault. It's not Kellen's fault. They're trying to work together to bring out the best in the talent that they have here.
Agreed. And we're being disingenuous if we're having a conversation of trying to point fingers if we don't bring up the number one reason why we are trying to gel from a offensive coordinator and finding our offensive identity, because we've had to change our offensive identity every year. We're on our third OC, y'all. He's on his third OC and still manages to get to the playoffs with all of that inconsistency. You don't think that inconsistency doesn't have effect on how our entire offense, passing or running, develops? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Those people that have had the same play caller for 3, 4, 5 years, yeah, they're putting up a whole bunch of yards and points or however you want to put it. But what's the yards and stats for if they're not in the playoffs? Y'all want to be Bengals fans? Go be Bengals fans. Y'all be sitting home watching us play.
Yep, that is the
and
truth.
it's this era of everything needs to look like Madden. That's not the NFL. NFL wasn't always pretty and high flying. The West Coast offense is a modern day version of the NFL. So this is always going to evolve into various versions of offenses that you're going to see. And we could talk about all the high flying offenses you want all day, but even those folks have their bad days, whether it's Mahomes or Burrows or Allen. Listen, we done beat all them. Only time we ain't beat Mahomes, but we still outperformed him, our QB did, was in the Super Bowl.
No doubt.
You know
So
what
I'm
I
in
mean?
this
So
quarter.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, thank you guys. You guys are watching the most unique Eagles coverage show around. Eagles Talk, that's by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. Here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, that is the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. So I've retired that mocktail stuff. I'm not drinking my favorite water. All right, so I'm going to do a shot of this. Nichelle, what are you doing? I know.
I have a cranberry strawberry lemonade vodka slushy drink.
Oh, slushy drink. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. So somebody out there is doing the rain vodka, and I know who that is. So let me know what you're doing out there as we get prepared for this game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Everybody, down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the second quarter.
All right. So against this Pittsburgh Steelers game, against this Pittsburgh Steelers team this week, I just hope they don't overcompensate and try to, play Madden because
Yeah,
that would be
tune out WIP.
right.
Tune
Yeah.
out these Rammy fans at WIP and sites. They love throwing matches and gasoline on anything, and it just drives me crazy.
It's their
I
job, though. I mean,
you're
they're
not see
sports
see.
talk.
Let
They
me tell
have
you
to
something.
find something to talk about.
Let me tell you something. As somebody that owns a communications firm, as somebody that has spent her most of her life in media and communications and journalism, your job is to give commentary. Your job is not to incite the masses. That's irresponsible. Your
Mm.
job is to be objective. Your job is to bring sports commentary. Your job is to educate on what the offensive coordinator means, what the route tree means, why some of these things can break down. You see people like Baldy, you see people like Thomas Mott, you see people out there really breaking down the game way better than some of these quote unquote people that think it's their job to speculate. It's not your job to speculate. It's your job to give objective commentary and bring the information to the people. I totally disagree that they think it's their job to be drama queens.
Nah, that ain't
It-
no fun.
no, it's not your job. There
That
is
ain't no
zero integrity in being on sports talk radio. If you want to be shock jocks, just say we're shock jocks. If you want to do the Howard Stern route, do the Howard Stern route. But if you really want to have um actually in-depth sports discussion, you need to talk more about the game and stop talking about emotions and feelings and who likes who and who's family and who's not, and come on. Come on. And they say women are emotional. I have never in my life seen so many men whining and screaming and calling these boys names all week than I ever have in this past couple of weeks. It's kind of disgusting, to be honest with you. It's
Mm.
disgusting. If you're gonna be a drama queen, I'm gonna start sending y'all a box of Tampax. Get it together. Put your big boy pants on and learn how to talk about football scheme. Look at film. Let's talk about what's going wrong, what's going right, and give credit where credit's due. But if you're going to be hyperbolic and want to blow everything up, bench the QB, FAJ, come on. You're not helping your team. You're not helping at all. You're not being a good fan. That's my opinion. Y'all don't have to agree. I really don't care. But hey, like you said, Drew, the main thing is the main thing, and it's winning. And unless we stop winning, what we talking about here? What we talking about?
Really, what are we talking about? We're talking about beating these Pittsburgh
Hey,
Steelers today,
John.
and we have to do that by keeping the main thing the main thing. We have an identity on offense, right? We played 13 games now. I hope that they look in the mirror and know who we are. Who we are is who we've been. That has gotten us to 11-2, and don't try to don't and, block out that noise. This is really going to be a test of the coach and the leader that Sirianni is. Right, we're going to see. This is going to be a test of how he responds to this, and if he takes the bait and succumbs to all of the controversy surrounding this week and tries to pass the ball more. I love the guy. I love him now. I did want to get him out of here, but I think this team still responds to him, and they still listen, and they still try to run through a brick wall for him. But this is going to
Mhm.
be a test on him. I don't want to see him come out and try to overcompensate with the passing game today.
Isn't every
Please,
week a test, Dante? How
yes,
many
it
weeks we
is.
got to hear it's a test? When we
Ah,
was playing the Ravens, it's a test. I don't even remember the Ravens game anymore. All I know is we won.
right, right.
Every week it's a test. Oh, here we got to play X, Y, and Z. It's a test. It's going to be a test. How many times we going to move this goalpost on this test? Because we keep
This is a
getting
running test. You know
beat.
what I mean? We test it every week, and
Right.
that's
It's
what
the
he's preaching.
NFL.
We got to run. We got to win this test this week. So I just hope that he wins this test this week. Rachel says, "Yep, run the ball now. It's what's wrong. What's wrong with the passing game. It's what's wrong with the passing game." All right. So I mean, the passing game. I don't have a problem with the passing game. I mean, it's not. I think everybody is expecting it to look like it did in 2022. That's not. We don't have that team. I mean,
Steichen either.
Yeah, we don't have Steichen. We don't have that team. This is our team this year. This is a identity of our offense this year.
Hmm.
Let's forget about what happened. All that we're 11-2. Just like we want to forget the collapse of last year. Let's forget about all that. This is who we are now.
Yep.
We've forgotten about the defense of last year, didn't we? We easily forgot about the defense of last year because the identity of our defense is what we see now. And we
That's right.
gladly accept that, right? Let's gladly accept that this is our offense now. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, there's nothing to be ashamed of. We're 9 wins in a row. Why are you ashamed of the offense? Are you kidding me?
Right. Like how I'm not ashamed of my team. And if you're ashamed of your team right now at this record and how they've been playing and being resilient and fighting through adversity and fighting through inconsistent coaching changes, why are you even here?
Mhm.
Why are you even here? We can critique. I could critique all day. I could go on whether Jalen missed a throw, or maybe I went back and realized, oh, he didn't throw to him because there was a man covering on top, and he basically saved AJ's butt. I could go on why AJ give up on that route too soon. I mean, there's plenty of fingers to point everywhere because guess what? It's a team sport. Usually, when you have a breakdown outside of our kicker, which don't get the heat that these boys get, there's always multiple people that have to function and work together to pull off a play correctly, from the O line to the skill positions to the players to the man that's calling the play. They all have to work together. This isn't a one and done thing. They all have to do their assignment. So if two of them are only half-assing it, or two of them miss the assignment, or one of them miss the assignment, it's still a team sport. It's still a team effort.
And I don't think that AJ said anything that wasn't true.
And
You know what I mean?
he said one word passing.
Right.
And these fools went off.
I know. He didn't say he is right. I mean, out of the if you look at every aspect, the
He's
passing
right.
game can use a little bit of more work.
And,
That's
it,
what he
and
said.
guess what? It's not that serious. Because guess what? He's still one of the leading receivers and he's missed games. Come on
Right.
now. Come on, y'all. All he said was passing. That mean everybody. That meant him, Devontae, Goddard, Jalen, Kellen. When
Kellen
you say
Moore,
the word
everyone.
passing, it means the collective. That's what it meant.
Yep. That's what it meant. And that's what I took it as. I didn't take it as this, but we live in the age of
Mhm.
shock jock era. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So they are looking for clicks, likes, and all of that. And
Mhm.
this is not our father's sports talk radio or sports entertainment
No.
anymore. This is not about that integrity. What are you talking about? We don't
No,
we
and
don't do that.
the
So,
arrogance to say that I'm right or my feelings matter more than what the coach and the player say, like to get back on air after they talk to the media and say they lied.
mm,
Wow, really? They tried to give you clarification so you would shut the hell up, and now you say, "Well, I don't believe them." We don't believe you.
yeah. Yeah. It's a different era, man. Social media, and I think I don't know what the NFL does, but it would probably be beneficial if teams really gave these young guys a class on, because this is a different, they have a platform every time a mic is in front of them, every
Mhm.
time a camera's in front of them, and there's a lot of opportunities for that to happen with the age that we live in now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? A
There's a
lot. So
disconnect from generations with
right.
how these young kids are coming into the league and how they communicate versus what the old school sports pundits and sports analysts feel as though how they should communicate based on how people communicated in the 90s, 80s, early 2000s. This is a different generation. And
Mm,
you have to evolve with the generations that come online on how to get the best interview, how to communicate with them,
mhm,
how to get them to be genuine and authentic when you are interviewing them. There's way more to it than what you feel or what you think it should look like or what you think it should sound. When you insert yourself instead of looking at it objectively, you're really not doing the airwaves any good. You're just out there throwing out your opinions, you know?
oh, excuse me. Bill Kroll, he's late again. Bill, yeah, you got to go in the back of the class. Bill, what are you doing? What are you doing here, Bill? I
Oh
can't
man,
even
the
do this.
Commanders survived. Listen, they be balling. Look,
Yeah,
and that's another thing. Give props to our opponents. Sometimes our opponents just be balling.
yeah,
Shout out to Carolina, because even though they be balling, Bryce
mhm,
Young, he's on the come up. Don't
yep,
think Carolina's not going to be a problem next year. I told y'all Detroit was going to be a problem, and look, Detroit's the top of the NFC. I told y'all.
yep.
Don't look at their record. Look at all the different positions and how they're playing and how close their games are and how explosive they can be. That will tell you the level of talent on the team. They may not have it all gelling together and they may not have a winning record, but that doesn't mean that they're bums. Having a 3 and whatever record in the NFL does not mean you're bums. Because
Hold
you
on,
could take a L any year,
let me
any
address
week.
this dude. Yes, y'all are ashamed. When y'all are walking around talking about our passing game, you ashamed of the passing game. What are you ashamed of? What are
I
you
know.
ashamed of? This passing game has uh, been competent. This passing game has been enough. This passing game has contributed to us winning 9 in a row. We're a run dominant team, but when called upon, this passing attack has done its job.
Mhm,
Did it look pretty last week? No. Every team has down moments, down weeks. That was a down week, and we still we still pulled out a W. It wasn't
mhm.
the best showing from the passing attack, but we can go back to. I could remember right now those couple catches that AJ had over his shoulder, where I don't even know how he tracked the ball, but he
Yo,
was
he is
making
a
those catches.
tracking monster.
But those times, we all applaud it, right? Well, they don't happen all the time.
Mm-mm,
Sometimes they are off games.
mm.
And
And
for the
sometimes
for the
what you
fan base
see
and
is
everybody
open.
to go off on the passing attack, yes, it does need improving. It does need to be sharper. Yes, I do admit that. But it's done its job this year.
Mhm.
And I don't think that we have to worry about a shootout. I really don't. I don't think that we have to worry about a shootout with the defense that we have.
We don't have to worry about anything. We just have to play our game. That's the
Yes.
thing. People don't understand. You trying to put worries and hypotheticals out in the airwaves for what? We don't know what's going to happen in the game. We don't know who's going to show up in the playoffs. We don't know which version we're going to get of our opponents. They may have a downtime. You know what I'm saying? So, what do you mean?
All right. Bill
What are
has
we talking about here? Because all I'm talking about is wins and hoping some of our other opponents hold it down against Detroit, so we can maybe squeak into that number one slot.
Yeah, no doubt. I hope that, the
Right, drone.
Buffalo,
He
yeah,
said,
Buffalo,
"Drone,
please.
yeah, what's up with the drones?"
The only thing we got to worry about is the drones.
The facts.
All right. That is funny. All right, look. All right, going into this game against the Steelers, how do you feel about it? I feel pretty good, especially after hearing Baldy give me his take on how he feels about the Steelers, because he's one that I really respect. He's one that, like you described, that keeps it about the stacks. I mean, the stats and the
I love
strategy of the
all this.
game and just the X's and O's. And he, when asked about the Steelers, he was like, basically like, man, the Steelers are not all that people think they are. That's basically, and I'm paraphrasing, but that's
No,
basically the
and they're
attitude he
good,
gave me.
and they're
You know
good.
what
But I think in almost all phases of the game, we have a slight edge. I think it'll be easy to rattle Russell, if you will, because I definitely think if our D line steps up, if we get pressure off the edge, we could definitely disrupt their passing game. Again, these games are really won in the trenches. And I would
I
put
mean?
our D line and our O line up against theirs any day. And that's where I see us winning the game and just and not getting complacent with our play calling when we do have the ball, making sure we're winning that time of possession, those types of things. But I think we can easily win the time of possession against Pittsburgh personally, because I've seen them turn the ball over so much this year. Shout out to all my Pittsburgh buddies. I know you. I know we having a battle of PA today, but I definitely think uh we are going to win the line of scrimmage today when it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, I think we both have the same uh, plan of attack. They like to run the ball. and pass the ball to, use the run to pass. We do the same. They like to
Mhm.
win, control the time of possession, and allow their defense to carry the load. We are sort of the same. The difference is, like you said, down in the trenches. I think that we edged them
Mhm.
out. Their defensive line and the pressure that they bring is legit. Also with T.J. Watt on that
Mhm.
side of the ball, so and they are a formidable defense that we have to go up against. But I will give our overall offense the nod over their overall offense, and I think that's what
Absolutely.
we win because of that. I think it's going to be a defensive battle, but I think when called upon, I think we're going to be able to put up more points than they are going to be able to put up on our defense.
Yeah. Absolutely. 100% agree.
So, who's Wilson? Wilson, their quarterback, has been an effective game manager. I'm gonna tell you, he did surprise me in winning that shootout. I forget it was against the Bengals, I believe it was, when they
Mhm.
put up 44 points. Really shocked me because I didn't see that out of the Pittsburgh
Well,
Steelers. I didn't see that.
what's that say about both of their defenses?
Mm.
They not like us.
Yeah, they not like us. I don't
We
see
not
anybody
doing
putting
that.
up 40 points on us. I don't
They
even
not
see
like us. That
anybody
see, and
putting up
these are
30
the things
points on
people
us.
need to pay attention to. Why would you have to worry about getting into a shootout when you not getting into a shootout with us?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not at all.
No, we don't. I mean, 40 points. We don't. I don't think we've given up 30 points one time. That was to what, Green Bay in the first week, and again the late touchdown is what put them over 30. Now we will give up a late touchdown, but most times that's the game's out of reach by the time we give up that last touchdown. If we
Mm,
if we take away the last touchdown from most of the games, and we're leading the league in points per game allowed.
mhm.
And that's with giving up late touchdowns in a lot of games that's already decided. So, yeah, our defense is championship caliber,
Absolutely.
definitely. And here's Shell. Shell is yelling at us.
Hey, Shell.
Family! I'm saying it like he
I
typed it.
know, right? Because he's
Family!
screaming
Just getting
all
off.
cat.
It's game time. We need to control the clock, run the ball, make field goals. We win. Eagles 28, Pittsburgh 23.
Eh.
All right, let's end this quarter. We only got a couple minutes before we have to watch this game. So,
And that's the end of the quarter.
all right, you're watching Eagles Talk pregame show, the most unique Eagles coverage show around us by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team. That is the 11-2 NFC East lead, Philadelphia Eagles, and we do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. So I'm doing my favorite water, and Nichelle is doing her. Say that again.
Oh, punch. Just say punch.
Her punch. And you guys, let me know what you're doing out here. But it's time. Almost time. Let's go. Let's go down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook. That is by Eagles fans for Eagles fans.
Let's go. Pittsburgh Steelers. We got to go down. Pause.
You're now listening to the third quarter.
All right, so some people have already started putting up predictions up on the screen. What do you think, Nichelle?
We come out victorious, and we'll be watching the Detroit game to see if they don't.
I'm with you on that. I feel as though if we, stay true to who we are. Stay true to who we are. Don't try to overcompensate. I know I've used that word a lot, but don't succumb to all the outside noise. We know that we have to be sharper in the passing attack. We know that. That's not anything that's new to us. We go into each game, and after the game, we evaluate what we need to improve upon. So, there was no need to over talk the point. It was in film study on Monday that we had a couple opportunities that we didn't take advantage of in the passing game. So they're aware of that. Don't come out and try to force a round peg into a square hole just to prove your point. When it's called upon, when the passing plays are called upon, just make sure everyone does the job that you're supposed to do. That's all we have to do. But don't go crazy. I don't want to see Jalen putting up 35, 40 points, passes today, just because of what we heard in the media and from the fans and all this chatter this week.
Yeah, it makes no sense whatsoever.
So you do that. Defense comes out, and they had a rough game last week. So I'm eager to see what the defense does. The defense had an off week last week, one of their rare off weeks last week. Let's see if they get their game back on track and become that dominant defense that we've been seeing all year. Because the Pittsburgh Steelers, this is a copycat league. They looked at what Carolina did, what they had success with last week, and they're going to try to duplicate that. And I don't think that it was a scheme that necessarily beat us or took advantage. I think it was just that the defense just had an off performance last week, and I think they get it back together. And I definitely have the Eagles winning with us, more points to them. Let me go to some of you guys' prediction. Richard is saying 20. Hold up. Did I get Richard? Oh, I'm sorry. Richard, 28-17. Bravo's Tech Lab is saying 35-14. That sounds good. Leon is saying 24-13. And let's go. Game on. All right. So we're out of here. We're going to see you guys after the game. So make sure you come back, Eagles Talk, so we can celebrate together. Hopefully celebrate together. And you guys go enjoy the game. I'm your man, Dark Knight. For the queen of Eagles Talk, Nichelle and Pat in his absence. He should be here after the game. Go enjoy the game. We'll talk to you guys afterwards. We're out. Peace.